My name is Anne, and this is Toby. And welcome to a Tobyknits podcast, episode 171. If you are new here, then welcome. I am a Brit living in Canada. I've been here 40 odd years and don't use my Liverpool accent anymore because nobody understands me. Plus, I've been here that long now that I feel like I've blended into the Canadian way of life. So this is my Canadian accent, in case you wanted to know. Yes, I still support Liverpool. Yes, I do. Every morning, Saturday morning or Sunday, I watch the games on the telly. Toby, however, recognizes the commentators, looks at me and says, "Oh, more bloody football," gets up and walks off. Because I do tend to yell a little tiny bit at the refs, as you do. But anyway, that's beside the point. I live in a little village outside Ottawa, Ontario, and it's just lovely here. It's been a lovely week, a really lovely week. But today it's a bit chilly, which is lovely. Fall's coming. Oh, I have long pants on today. I've been in shorts all summer. This is the first time I've had long pants on and a sweater. So, ooh, fall's coming. So anyway, yeah, I do tend to rabbit on rather a lot. I get very distracted by my window and what's going on outside. So from time to time, there will be squirrel moments. So I'll give you that. And you're going to need a cup of tea because we'll probably be here for ages while I just chat, as I do. So I actually have a smoothie today. I've decided I eat too much bread. You see, this is why you need a cup of tea. We haven't even got to the knitting bit yet, and we're 2 minutes in and I'm still chatting. I think I eat too much bread. I love bread. I love it toasted. I love it as it is. I love it grilled. I love it buns. I love buns. Oh my God. So buns are so lovely. I love French toast. I love any kind of bread you can think of. I will eat. I would probably have toast in the morning, usually with an egg. Lunchtime I have a sandwich, and then supper time, whatever we're eating, I have buns with it. So it's like, I think that's too much. Do you not think that's a bit too much? So I'm trying last week and this week to have a smoothie in the morning for my breakfast instead of bread. This is banana raspberry. So yeah, today it's Monday. Oh, are you okay, Tote? Did you hear that whinging then when I moved my arm? Would you like to go back in your bed? Why don't you go back in your bed? There you go. You lay down there. See, I've already lost track. I do have notes though. Oh yeah, today is Monday. It is September 23rd. Tomorrow is my wedding anniversary. Oh, yes, me and hello, Bob. It's our wedding anniversary. 36 years? 36 years. Yeah, I had to think about that for a minute. I have to calculate how old Andrew is because we got married the year before Andrew was born. So, yeah. Anyway, so today's all about the knitting. Oh, it's going to be a really long one. I'm sorry. I don't know where my head is today. So, okay, let's just get into it. Do I have any FOs? No. Unless you count a sleeve. So, in my lovely little Miller bag is my Ranunculus. And as you remember, I was trying to decide. I dyed this yarn myself. This is Strawberry Delight, and it's grays and pinks. It's gorgeous, actually. And then I had just a plain gray. And this is on a sport weight. Oh, it's so soft and squishy. Anyway, I have to put that piece of yarn there. So here is the top, and you start with the yoke and the neckline, and then you do the yoke, and then you break for the sleeves here. And it's at this point, oh, excuse me, it's at this point you have to decide your size. I picked size 2 because I kind of like it snugging me, but not to the point where it shows the belly. So I picked a size 2 because I don't like oversized crop tops, which this can be. So I just absolutely loved all these stitches. This is actually my second one because I loved the pattern so much. I made another one. And then what I did was I faded into the gray for the body. Then I faded because I ran out of the Strawberry Social, and I was almost running out of the gray. So I luckily had dyed a bunch of Strawberry Social, so I grabbed another one from Stash, and I faded back. I don't even know if you can see all that. I faded back into and added the ribbing in Strawberry Social. So then I was deciding, did I want, my other one has short sleeves, not much longer than this. And I thought, I don't really want another short sleeve because I want it for the winter-ish months, the cooler months. So I finished one sleeve, and believe it or not, I really had to watch what I was doing. I had to keep trying it on. Is that good English? I don't think so. I had to keep trying it on. And look the way it's done that pattern. Is that not just so like weirdly bizarre? I love it. If you wanted a pair of socks like that, it would never happen, would it? And I dyed the yarn. I don't even know. I mean, there it is, because it's stretching out bigger across, right? But when you've got shorter amount of stitches on the needle, I just absolutely love that. This is on a 6mm needle as well. And I did, I started out doing magic loop, but then it was annoying me. So I went back to DPNs and just used 3 or 4 DPNs, I should say. But isn't that pretty? And then I did the I-cord bind off. Well, let me tell you, I do have to join these two together. You have to join that together there like that. And look, that is all I had left of that yarn. Because what I did, once I'd done the rib, what was left of my yarn, which I feel like was about 70 grams, I split it into 2 balls so I could see how far I could go with one ball and know I'd have enough for the second. Because if I'd finished this whole sleeve all the way down to my wrist, there wouldn't be enough for the second. And I'm not dyeing any more of this yarn. And even though there's 1 ball left in the shop, it's staying in the shop. So I kept trying it on, and every 10 rows from the underarm, I put, so I know on the other one, kind of smart, right? Where to go. And this one here was only 8 rows. And then you have to do a row where you knit to the marker on the 5.5 needles. And then you do a row where you decrease. So that would have made my 10. So in actual fact, it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. And then you start the I-cord bind off. Now, I've done I-cord bind offs before, and I think they're really neat, but I've only ever done it with 3 stitches, not 5. But I really, really love the look that's given. Don't you? I think that's so nice. Anyway, I'll put a lovely photograph of me wearing it this morning so you can see how far down my arm it comes. It comes to about watch length, just a bit above watch length, which again is fine because more often than not, I do that with my sleeves anyway. And even in the wintertime. So I think it's going to be fabulous. So that's as far as I got on my ranunculus. I did a lot of that yesterday. It was so beautiful in the garden yesterday that I sat for about, I'm not kidding, I feel like it was about 3 hours. And I put my headphones on and I listened to Ed Sheeran because him and Coldplay are my two favorites. So I listened to 2 Ed Sheeran albums, and while Bob was mowing the lawn on the ride-on. Now that makes a noise. So I put my headphones on so I couldn't hear the ride-on and I could just hear Ed. And I will have to admit there were a few times that I had to get up and dance. Because that's just the kind of, you know, music Ed, that's what Ed does to me. He makes me want to dance. And so yeah, there was a few times where I had to get up and Bob thought I was just ridiculous. But he did keep waving to me as he went by. So anyway, but yes, I did the majority of that sleeve in the garden yesterday afternoon because I was just having a lovely time. And Saturday, and I don't know why, every time they come, I never take a picture. My 2 friends, Sue and Liz, came over, and they're fairly new friends to me. I met Sue through, and they have a podcast called Distant Stitches. I'll leave a link to them below. And Sue lives in Gatineau, which is over on the Quebec side. It's not that far. It sounds like it's miles away, but it's not. And Liz lives on this side in Ottawa, so not that far again. And I met Sue through the Crazy Sock Lady. They were doing Sue was running a swap last year. I don't remember when it was, but it wasn't Christmas. It was, I feel like it might have been May, April. I don't know. It was earlier this year. And we were doing a yarn swap. And I recognized her name because I had to mail stuff to her and she mailed stuff to me. But I recognized her name because Alex from My Yarny Corners, really good friend, is Sue, who lives in Gatineau. And I'm like, well, wait, is that the same Sue? And turned out it was. Anyway, so we just got chatting, and I've been to her house, she's been to my house, and so they came over Saturday, and we had a lovely visit. I was cross-stitching most of the time, but they were knitting. Oh, you should see the sweater, the cardigan, it's a cardigan, that they're both making, but of course Liz is way ahead of Sue. But the yarn, beautiful. I'm way better, by the way, from the COVID episode, but every now and again I get a little cough. But anyway, that's beside the point. Oh, do you want to see what Sue brought me? She made this. Look at that. She made it. And it is so squishy and so soft. It's a tea towel. It's a tea towel. Isn't that cool? So it's got loads of room to put things in. And I was thinking of putting a knitting project in it or something. But then I said to my husband, do you know what? We might use this when we travel. Because it will be a really good bag to put all your toiletries in because nothing would leak or get wet. Because it would just get soaked up in the tea towel. I love it. It's so pretty. So and of course, she had to put something inside. Of course she did. Want to see what she put inside? Oh, this is called Crocus. Isn't that lovely? And it's a BFL. BFL has such a different hue to it. I've dyed some yarns, some colorways in a BFL, and because it doesn't come to you it's almost like a beige color when you get it to dye. It's not really white like some of the others, but isn't that pretty? Look at the purples. I love purple. So, oh, that would make such a lovely pair of socks. So thank you, Sue. Okay, let's get on back with more knitting. So I've told you about the Ranunculus Ev sweater. Ev sweater's in the cross bag. And I forget. I think I might have showed you this last week. I finished the back. Did I show you that? I forget. So this is the back. It's actually quite big. I think it'll be too big for her. And it's just the largest of the baby size from the sweater book. It's King Cole Baby Cardigans and Sweaters, book 1. And there's a whole bunch of different things in, but there's no name to this particular sweater. Other than maybe, was it Raglan sleeve cardigan sweater? I don't even know. And I am using Knit Picks. I'll just leave that there. Knit Picks Heatherly yarn. And I wanted to try this because I wasn't sure if I wanted to dye with this yarn because they sell it bare and you can dye it. So I wanted to feel it, knit it up first before I jumped, because you got to buy a bunch. And this is a sport weight. God, this is, well, it says right on there, doesn't it? Really, if I'd have looked. So this is a sport weight, and so it's a number 2. So it's a bit heavier than fingering weight, but not as heavy as a DK. That's what I view sport weight as. And this is called Juice Box. So I've done that, and I have started on the front. The front is very similar, other than I think somewhere up here we have to scoop the neck out a little bit more, because obviously that's just the back. And then you can see at the bottom, there are 3 rows where you use a smaller needle, and you do 3 pattern repeats, I should say, with the smaller needle, and then you go to a larger needle and you do all this knitting on both sides and just have the pattern right up the back. And it's the same on the sweater front, exactly the same, other than I think the neckline scoops down differently. So I started this on August 21st. And I did 4 evenings on it in August, and I've done 3 evenings on it in September so far. And I have to admit, actually, this was a 2 evening job, because what happened was I started it, and I have such a croak in my throat. I started this, got about 6 rows in, so 1.5 repeats of the pattern, and I realized it didn't look right. And the pattern is really easy to follow, although the 2nd and 4th are the lace parts, and they're different from each other. They're both very easy to follow. However, because of the size of this, because it's the larger size, you have to do different things at the beginning and ending of each of those. And I think what I'd done is I had forgotten about the beginning and ending being slightly different, and I'd just gone straight into the pattern and not thought about it, and it messed it up. So I had to rip the whole thing back and start again. So then the next night, because I was fed up of it by then, so the next night I got it going again. So now I feel like we're good. I feel like we're cooking with gas now. We're cooking with gas. I'm so sorry, I'm coughing. Next, I have 2 car knitting. So the plan is for next week to work on Ev's sweater and the Ranunculus. I want to get the Ranunculus finished because one sleeve, and it'll probably be 2 nights that I can get that done. Oh, well, maybe 3. So if I spend 3 nights on the Ranunculus, I should get it done. And it's knit club on Thursday, so that'll be definitely a good thing. And Ev's sweater, I would like, because I need that for Christmas. So I need to spend 4 nights on Ev's sweater. So I'm only going to work on those 2 projects this week. The other 2 projects that I have on the needle are car knitting. So anytime we go in the car, because as you know, I don't drive, hubby drives. Hello, Bob. He drives, and I just sit and knit. So even if we go into the next village to go grocery shopping, or we go into Ottawa, I just knit. So I have 2. I have in this one, which is the Netherwood bag. This is Caroline, my daughter-in-law's Musselburgh hat. And this is yarn that was gifted to me a long, long time ago by a good friend of mine when she used to die. So anyway, here it is. I'm not sure. I keep meaning to put markers in so you can see how much I've done, and then I forget because there's that many markers in it anyway. But I think I maybe have only got about 1 inch done since you last saw it. I feel like I was just there, and I've got maybe 1 inch, 1.5 inches done. So there's that one. But of course, this one is the priority one I pick up when I get in the car because I need this for Christmas. I'll get it done easy for Christmas. I've made one for Andrew. And one, this is Caroline's. And then Sean's got one. Sean! And I need to make one for Megan. So. And the other car knitting was in my other Netherwood bag. And this is the gorgeous yarn I picked up from Knit Picks called Static. Now, this is a fingering weight yarn. It's called Static. And this one is called Cabot Cove. And what that, it's hard to see that because it's all ripped. So what this is it's a self-striping yarn, but it has a texture, it has a pattern in it. It's not just stripes. And I really liked the look. And Cabot Cove reminded me of Nova Scotia, and the colors reminded me of Nova Scotia. And you know, Sean lives there. So I wanted to knit these socks. It wasn't until I read the label online after the fact that this line of yarn, this static line of yarn, is based on retro TV programs. So Cabot Cove, murder she wrote, suits me down to the ground. So I'm doing this on DPNs. You might remember I started it on DPNs, switched to 10-inch needles, which broke. So I went back to my Knit Picks DPNs, and here's where I'm at. So you see what I mean? It's not like, it does stripe here a little, but then it goes into this really cool pattern. And I think there's then a whole pile of this blue for a while, and then we go back to, I don't know, stripes or patterns. But even look at this, the way, I mean, I didn't do that on purpose. It just, that's the way the yarn came out when I cast it on. But I think it might be a bit hard when I come to the second one to try to match them up. But hopefully I'll figure out at what point we repeat the pattern. And hopefully I'll be able to do it that way. But this is coming on really nice. I'm really enjoying these. And I love these needles. They're just 6-inch, but I love them because they're slippy and they're not pointy at the end. So I feel like I have a little bit more control. The needles are not, the stitches are not falling off. And I always do that with my other needle. I have to be very careful in the car now, though. When I'm knitting, I have to put something beside me where the seatbelt part goes, because I can't tell you how many times I have dropped the DPN down the side and we've had to do an emergency stop. And Bob, because I can't reach, has to climb underneath to get it for me. So, yeah, gotta love that man. Okay, so that's all the works in progress I'm working on currently. And I am not having as much fun knitting because cross stitch has taken completely over my life. But I'm just trying to, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, so maybe don't have so many whips, narrow it down and try to finish some stuff, because we all love casting on new projects, right? And actually one of the new projects I want to cast on is actually crochet. I haven't done crochet in ages. I've got 2 crochet blankets up there, which will probably come out in the next month or 2 when the weather gets really cold, because it's hard to have them on your lap and crochet in the summertime. But I thought it would be fun to make some Christmas tree ornaments. And Bob had sent me, he's always, God, you gotta love Bob. He's always sending me little Instagram videos of knitting hacks or crochet hacks or crochet patterns or something that he thinks I would like. And one of them was for some Christmas tree crochet baubles. They were like Santa and reindeers and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, those would be really nice. But there's a lot of work involved in the particular ones he sent me. So I was scouring today because I thought it'd be just a fun idea. And I haven't crocheted for ages. And I've got a ton up there of cotton, crochet cotton, for amigurumi. If I don't think about it, I can say it. So it's not like I have to rush out and buy anything. But anyway, so I thought, I found these, and I thought these were perfect. Are they not the cutest? So there's Mrs. Claus and Miss Santa Claus. That's me and Bob. And then the elves. Well, we all know who the elves are. And there's the reindeer, the snowman, and the angel. Oh, I just think they're so cute. So I think I'm going to have a go at one of them. And yeah, I think that would be really fun to have a go at. So yeah, anyway, that's all I've got for you today. So I'm going to go and edit this. I do have an order to get out. Thank you so much for the lovely lady in the States who bought one of my cross-stitch bags. So I am going to package that up now and get that mailed out to her while this is rendering and doing all its business. And then I'm going to go and cross-stitch later. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you Wednesday for Floss Tube. If not, see you next Monday. Okay, bye.